welcome to Little Willy Things. I have Amanda here from Little Bitty Delights, and this is going to be kind of a departure from my normal podcast episode, but we're going to do an interview. It's going to be so fun.
Yay!
Yay! So let's just jump right in. I just wanted to ask you, where did you grow up, and how did you get started crafting?
That is a great question. So I grew up in Colorado. Colorado is home. I was not born here. I was actually born in Southern California, but my family moved to Colorado when I was 5. So for all intents and purposes, Colorado is home as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up with my friends and school and all that. So Colorado is home, but not where I currently live. Well, now it's home, but I was actually raised on the eastern plains of Colorado. So practically in the Kansas, Nebraska area. I mean, really just step a toe in and you're in Nebraska and Kansas.
So I'm imagining, I've never been there, but I'm imagining that side of the Rockies is much flatter than what I would think of Colorado.
Yep, exactly. It's very flat, corn and cow country. Where I'm at now is now on the other side of the Rockies, the western slope is very much what you would think of when you think of Colorado. You think of the mountains and the lakes and all that good stuff of Colorado. It's where I am now.
I would love to someday.
Yes, come visit. It's a lot of fun. I really love living here. It's been wonderful. And as for crafting, get that out of the way. As for crafting, I've always been interested in crafting. My grandfather growing up, he was an artist and he would do little paintings and drawings. So I would watch him do that. And my mom occasionally, she wasn't too much for doing a whole lot of things. Health didn't allow her to do it too often. So it was just drawing and whatever I could do from at school, artwork and things like that just kind of always piqued my interest. And once I got older and discovered YouTube, when YouTube actually became a thing.
Oh my gosh, I know.
It helped expand my horizons. I know I have to remind myself that YouTube wasn't always a thing. It's my kids, they realized that, oh, YouTube, it's always been there. But for me, that wasn't the case. I had to actually figure out like, oh, that's actually something useful. I can use that for something. So it was been a great platform.
Our family calls it YouTube University sometimes, because you can learn anything on YouTube.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Honestly, between that and Google, if there's something I need to know, that's where I go. I'm like, let me see what I can find out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One time, I am not a mechanical repair person, I don't take things apart and fix them, but my KitchenAid stand mixer broke one time, and my husband ordered the part, and then he's on the volunteer fire department, so he had a fire call when he was in the middle of fixing my mixer. And I got on YouTube and I found the video and I followed step by step and I finished fixing my mixer.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. See, yes, if you can get a good person who knows how to make the tutorial understandable, it's amazing what you can do with YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. So okay, when you started out crafting, you said you started just with drawing and like just doodling kind of stuff?
Doodling, drawing, sketching. I really liked doing a little bit of watercolor and then some acrylic work. I was just kind of interested in dabbling in anything. I did a little bit of wood burning for a while, whatever the class would offer, and found that great. I also didn't feel though that while I enjoyed sketching, like it was really a strong suit of mine. It wasn't like I was creating, masterpieces of art, whatever. I really enjoyed any clay work that we did in school. But it didn't really dawn on me. I also am a huge bookworm and I would read. So while I enjoyed that, you could mostly library as well. So I enjoyed it in class time, but didn't really give it much thought about, oh, I'm going to, pursue this as anything other than fun. So
Right. So, do you remember one of your first projects?
Knitting or anything?
Kind of
anything?
Yeah. What was one of your first projects that you
My
remember?
my very first project would have been first grade. We did a little sculpting with some clay that they then, after baking it, I think they baked it, bronzed it, and put it on like a little whatever. And I sculpted a duck. I was very proud of that duck. Mom still has it. I think she does anyway, probably in the garage or something like that. But that's one of the very first pieces of art I remember ever making. And I remember everybody being at least kind of, I don't know if impressed is quite the word. I mean, come on, it's first grade, but saying, hey, we actually knew. Sometimes you have to ask your child, well, what is it that you made? Because you're not quite sure. And then they tell you, people at least knew that it was a duck. So I'm like, okay.
You had a natural talent.
Yes.
Okay. So now that may or may not be the project that you were the most proud of, but it sounds like you were pretty proud of it. So thinking about, your entire span of projects, what is the one that you would call your most amazing, like the one that you love the most?
I love the most. Oh man, that one's tough.
I know that's a hard one.
That is a hard one. It's like, wow, I haven't thought about that. I don't know. Do I get to count my kids? I'm pretty proud of my kids, but it's kind of that's a different art project. There was one that I had actually managed to sketch. It was with foil, actually. It was like a foil and a black, I don't even remember what it was called. But basically when you etched into it and you were drawing and everything, it was black initially, but it had foil underneath. And then as you, kind of scratched away with your drawing or whatever, so then it revealed the underneath part. And I did a drawing of the Victorian lady in the garden. And I just remember because that was just so picturesque. I was like, oh, I just think that would be so cool that I did that.
That does sound cool.
Put that one in the art. Actually, let my art teacher keep that one and take that one away because he was pretty impressed with that and wanted to keep it for his little collection. So, but I think about that even to this day. I'm all like, that was a really cool piece. I wish I still had
it. Yeah. Maybe someday you can recreate it.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have Instagram and whatever that we can take photos to kind of like collect that. I'm like, I didn't think about that at the time. That would have been great. Take a photo of it and remember it.
Yeah, when I started on Etsy, I was actually selling oil paintings, and so it was really cool to take photos, because then even after I sold the painting, I still kind of have a memory of
have it.
Yes, I created this.
That's what I love about like whenever I knit something and then I end up giving it away as a gift. I'm like, I usually have a photograph of it, so take that and share it. And I like that.
Yeah. Instagram's kind of fun that way too.
It is.
It's neat to have kind of a visual record of what you've done. I've seen a lot of people at the end of the year post their, this year, these were all of my projects,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never taken the time to do that, but I think it would be kind of fun. Yeah. Okay.
Not right now.
So, my next question, I was going to ask you if you have any other creative outlet besides your little sculptures that you do.
At this time, not a whole lot other than like actually baking real edible things for the family. But I have to say that cross stitching has actually been popping up quite a bit in my interest. I've been looking and I'm all like, I can see it now because like it's fermenting in my head. I can tell. It's like, that looks nice. That looks like fun. Maybe I'd like to try that. So
I used to do
at this time. Did you? I did it. I remember trying it once. I don't know, early teens. I think I managed to complete like one little, square of a bear or whatever. And at that time, it was too tedious for me to do. To sit still and actually those little stitches and whatever. I was like, no, I'd rather run around and go do stuff. But it's catching my eye again. Some of the works that are done, I'm like, this is beautiful.
Some of the designs are just amazing.
Yeah.
I got into it the late 80s, early 90s, and the obsessive part of my personality came out, and I had to. So I couldn't afford to buy all of the colors, right?
Right.
But every time I went to the craft store, I came home with like 3 or 4 more colors, and so eventually I had all of the DMC floss colors, And then I had them all organized by color on the little bobbins in the little storage tubs, and I still have them actually.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, I used to do a lot of cross stitch. It was one of those things that I had a spot up on the top shelf in my living room, and I had little ones. And so if I was in the middle, in between doing things, with the kids, I could walk by and I could just pick up the thing and I'd do 3 or 4 stitches, and then I'd set it back and I'd go on to do whatever else I had to do. And
Oh,
yeah,
genius. Nice.
Yeah. I actually finished stuff that way. It took a while.
You're right. Well, shoot, the way it goes, like for me and like with knitting, I get that because that's knitting for me is usually happens in the evening. It's rare that I'm like, oh, I actually get to sit and knit for a whole day. We have to take a cart rip for that to happen. So, it takes me a while to finish things because I'm working on it a little bit at a time in the evenings.
Yep. Lately, I've been doing my knitting after the kids go to bed because, we have our bedtime routine. We all sit together and we read. And right now we're reading through the Lord of the Rings, which is awesome. I love it. But that takes up most of the evening time,
Yeah.
So I don't get to sit and knit while we're doing reading time because I'm the one reading.
A little difficult. Yeah.
Most of my knitting gets done late at night.
Afterwards. That's right. That's right.
So anyway, what do you have on your work table these days that you can actually share? Because I know you've got some secrets right now.
I do have some right now. I've been doing a lot of secret work, but I do have a few things. So actually, over the course of the last few months, and I've had a chance to kind of evaluate how my work schedule and life schedule need to kind of work together. So I'm actually going to be making a change come November. I'm going to be shooting for a weekly update in the shop so that on my most productive days, which usually ends up being a Monday and a Tuesday, whatever it is that I'm able to craft on the table is what will get put in the shop at the end of the week. And we'll just kind of go from there. And I'm hoping that'll allow a little bit more creativity to flow and build a ready to ship stock. So in anticipation of that, I've been sneaking in a few little works of art here. I was on a donut kick here the other week. So
there are worse things you could be interested in.
I made bitten. Right. I made a bitten, just a super simple sugar donut. So it's covered in glitter. And then I was able to make some more, which I am excited to list in the shop. The other pumpkin spice donuts for fall.
So I got a finger in that icing.
I know. I'm all like, I want some of that. That's a like caramely pumpkin spicy.
Yeah.
Kind of, or maple. I think originally my thought was, it's like a maple icing with a pumpkin spice cake. But anyway, I just dropped that. And then thanks to the snow that we've been getting, which has kind of put a halt on my whole, fall, because now everything is all white. I have gotten into full snowy, warm drink mode. So here's one that I'm going to be working on and coming out this next month. It's a hot cocoa.
That looks so yummy.
And toasted marshmallow, and I don't know how close I can get. There we go. And there's like a little pink snowflake and chocolate drizzle on the side.
I
love pink cup.
It.
And then in honor of Gilmore Girls and the love for snow, here's a new, I'm pretty sure this is the final look of it. There's a new I Smell Snow coffee and donut charm. So it's just a little cup and a tiny donut on the top there. I don't know how well that's showing up.
Yeah, I think your camera wants to focus on your face.
I think so. So if I block that, it'll kind of hard to tell in the small little screen. But and then because Lorelai Gilmore loves donuts, I'm gonna or not donuts. She loves Pop-Tarts too. She loves donuts, but Pop-Tarts as well. So I made this little like snowy Pop-Tart with hopefully a little blueberry filling there. I don't know how well that's showing up, but
yeah, I probably shouldn't admit this, but I've never seen the Gilmore Girls.
That's okay. I know there's few actually. So I just announced yesterday. I was throwing it out there. I shouldn't even say that I announced because I haven't actually officially announced it yet. I was throwing it out there like I've had this idea in my head. So every year when it starts to snow, I always start thinking, oh, well, I want to knit, of course, you know, the cozy, snowy things, and usually want to design like that. And I'm like, well, for those who have seen the show or who just love snow, how many people would be interested in a, you know, I smell snow something cowl, or, you know, a knit along or a make along that starts in December. So I threw that out there and I've been really surprised by the reception and the interest that that's been getting. So now I have to get on with planning.
Cool.
Hi, bud, go ahead. Planning that knit along for the beginning of December. So that's something.
That sounds
future.
like
But I did. Oh, that's where I was going with that. Is that I had several who yes, honey, sorry. There we go. Okay, go on. Who mentioned that they've never seen the Gilmore Girls, and I'm all like, that's okay. Do you love snow? Join this anyway. Grab a snowy pattern and let's just have fun with it. So
perfect. Yeah, I saw the photo that you posted on your Instagram story of your cute little sock design. That is so sweet, and I think it really looks like little snowflakes. It's just perfect.
Perfect. Like, you know, like falling down on the sock. That's such a cozy sock too. That was one that I designed. Actually, I ended up releasing. I started it last year in December, but I ended up releasing it in February of this year. Little snowflake falling. So I've got another idea. I'm kind of tumbling around in my head. We'll see if it pans out.
Perfect.
I'll get to it.
Can't wait to see. Okay, so I know that you have a mystery club kit that you're working on right now.
I do. I'm so excited. I released that last Friday, so we have until this Friday. It's available for pre-order. But it is called the Cozy Sock Mystery Club, and it's entitled Pumpkin Spice and Poison, based off of the book entitled by the same thing. So the idea behind the club, so I had this brainstorm earlier in the year. I was starting to get into cozy mysteries, in an attempt to, you know, I loved reading before I ever learned how to knit, and would consume books by, you know, the hundreds, it seemed anyway. And but of course, you know, just getting older, adult responsibilities and the kids and knitting, reading, you know, kind of started getting pushed back further and further. And I really wanted to bring that back. I love getting lost in a good book. So had a little light bulb moment where I was like, well, I wonder if anybody else, it seems like a lot of knitters also like to either read and enjoy cozy mysteries, at least the ones that I was following along with, and would see them pop up. So I had this idea of like, I love sock knitting, I like a good surprise, and I like a good book, so why don't we combine that all together? That's kind of how the Cozy Sock Mystery Club was born. It's based off of usually a cozy sock mystery book, and we throw it all together and we add a nice little goodie, which I am so excited that you are adding to the goodie this month and this round. It's going to be wonderful and fantastic.
Okay. Yes.
And I love that I'm able to bring different makers into it with the club. It's not just me putting that club out there and making everything. It isn't a collaborative attempt. It's finding that yarn dyer to work with that designer and pulling all of everybody's talents together to bring something wonderful. You know, I love it.
It is cool. I've done a few collaborations and I have just thoroughly enjoyed all of them. It's really nice to get to work with another creative person who kind of appreciates the same sorts of things that you do, you know, and is willing to put some effort into.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. It is. It's so much more fun when you get to work together as a group.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you seen, I kind of collect hashtags for Instagram, and one that I've seen recently is community over competition. I really, really love that one.
Yes. I'm a huge fan of that one.
Right.
Definitely. And I know because that was so easy in the very beginning, and I knew I had to when I first started getting on Instagram and also building up my business, getting caught in that comparison game, thinking you had an idea, because let's face it, no idea is truly new under the sun type kind of thing. There's always some kind of recycling version of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so easy, like, you know, if you have this idea and then you see another maker who does something similar to you and does it, you're like, oh, and one of two things happen. You can either get caught in that, oh, I'm not good enough, I can't do this now, or, you know, or even kind of being a little bit hateful and, oh no, it's stolen my idea, it wasn't your idea. It's just, we're all inspired by similar things. So so when I came across that hashtag, I was like, yes, that is definitely what I believe in. It is community over competition. If we work together, put our heads together, we can make wonderful things and build each other up.
Yeah. We end up with, I think, a lot more. If you can build a more solid foundation working together, we achieve more that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, how long have you been doing your mystery clubs? I'm not sure if I know that.
I just started it. This will actually be the third box that I released. It literally just started. This year is its first year. It's in its infancy, if you will. So this round I feel like has come together so much better. I just have a better idea of how I want it to go, what I'm looking for. So I'm really hoping next year will just blossom, because we've worked out all the kinks. So the first box came out in May, June, I think it was, is when we finally pulled that together. So we started, you know, the talks and the process and whatever in early spring, got that first one out, and then the next one released in August, and then now this one is available. And so we'll be able to squeak out one before the year is out, and then it'll be next year.
Okay. So are you planning on doing these as a monthly thing or a quarterly thing, or?
I don't know. I'm still working that out. I'm leaning towards probably a seasonal thing. So about 4 boxes in a year, and just kind of base them and the books that they're based off of around the seasons. Makes it kind of simple as far as guiding, you know, how to go, so fall and winter themed and all that, without complicating it too much, I guess. So I thought I'd like to do it every month, but I think with the efforts of trying to coordinate everybody, that's quite a bit of a tight deadline, and I like to give everybody time to be able to make a stellar. I'd rather have a really good product and get it out every so often and everybody enjoy it and have time to work through it than to try to churn them out.
Right. So what do your mystery sock club kits generally include?
So you have a couple of options. They generally, overall, like if you get the full box package, you're going to receive a mystery marker from me, an additional treat. This kind of falls under the category, it could be anything. So like from the first 2 clubs, it was Needle Cozy, and another was a little notion tin from a maker that was included. Sorry, just a second here. Here we go. Let's get that on. Go. And then you're also going to receive, you have your choice of adding yarn that was, you know, inspired either specifically chosen that the dyer had already made, that would fit the theme, along with a sock pattern that was designed specifically for the kit, for the club.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So you don't include the book that the kit is based on?
No, I don't. I would like to, just because I think that would really add to it, but I haven't figured out yet how to go about that. I think that will take a little bit more navigating and negotiating. I'd have to get in touch with, you know, the publisher, the writer, and see if it's possible to get X amount of copies.
Right.
I think, well, you know, and it's one of those too. I mean, I wouldn't be asking them to donate it. It'd be awesome if they wanted to, but so I do realize that there is a chance I could go ahead and order up a certain X amount of those books and then turn around and add them to the box, but I haven't figured out that particular logistics of it yet. Yeah. I do think it would be really cool to do, though.
It would be cool, but then also if you have the title and the author's name and all the information on the book, in your product listing for the kits, then somebody
Mhm.
could just get on Amazon and order their own copy.
Exactly, which is why I do like to take a photo as a clue that includes the book in there, that kind of gives them an idea this is based off of. So if you want to check out that series, that particular book, you have that chance to do so on your own. If
Mhm.
if that doesn't interest you, you can still have the fun of having the actual kit, because the good news, at least so far, the way the kit is put together, the club, it's not unlike other ones where have included a book. You're not having to open something on a certain page or whatever. So it doesn't require that you have read the book, have knowledge of the book. It's a fun perk if you wish to, but
Mhm.
you just at least have a general idea. Oh, okay, I know it's going to be a mystery. I know that it's going to be based off of that. The goodie is going to be based off of the cover art or the season and that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
so far
Yeah.
that's been working out well.
Well, it does sound like a whole lot of fun. And I know, there are a lot of people out there who barely have time to do the knitting part, and they certainly don't have
Right,
to sit and read.
right, right.
Yeah. I think it would
Although
be
I have had
really
a few customers who have purchased it who have actually mentioned that they really enjoyed actually getting the series and started reading the series with it. So there are a few who do at least who do it all.
good. Yeah, yeah. Some people have a lot of free time and others don't.
Right. And others don't. Yes, exactly. I fall into that category where I'm like, I have way more ideas than I have time.
Mhm.
So some things fall off
Same
onto the back
here.
burner.
Uh, so it sounds like you do have some plans for the mystery kits for the future. Do you have
Yes,
any other plans for Little Bitty Delights besides your sock club kits that are upcoming?
I have. So I have the Socks Club, and then there's actually going to be one that I'm going to start introducing. It'll be another club, and
Okay.
this one is definitely also seasonal. Um, and it is, I'm so excited about this one. It's going to be cozy at home,
Ooh.
and the whole idea behind this box. You're like the first person, other than the other person who I'm actually collaborating with and working on getting this started. You're the first person I'm telling about this box.
Ooh.
So here it is, guys. New and juicy if you want to know what's coming up. So it'll be a seasonal box, cozy at home, and the whole basis behind it is self-care and health. It is meant to be a little luxurious gift to yourself to take care of yourself and enjoy, which is also why it's going to be seasonal. So you have time to enjoy it and in between when you get the boxes. So there will be a knitting pattern. Initially, I was thinking still socks because I'm absolutely obsessed with socks, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the case. It might actually include other accessories and patterns of those. But then it's going to include other things that'll help you be cozy and just really relax and take a little bit of me time, maybe a candle and a little sugar scrub or a cushion bar or something like that is kind of what's being discussed and talked about anyway to add to this. So I'm excited about that for next year.
That sounds like so much fun, really. I know that as a mom, I don't often take the time to do something special for myself.
Right.
I'll buy little things for the kids.
Yeah.
Like my daughter was working at a summer camp this last summer,
Mhm.
and while she was there, she experienced some things that she had never experienced at home, like this uh, cereal, this cookies and cream cereal that I would never
Oh,
like.
right.
That's not healthy food. I'm not going to buy this for
Right.
kids, right? But
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah.
she became obsessed with this cereal, and so after she came home from camp, she was telling us about this cereal, and I actually was just like strolling through the grocery store on my way to get milk or something, and I looked down, and there was this cereal that she had been talking about, you know, and so I bought a bag of it. Um, so I'll do
Right.
that kind of thing for my kids, but I don't always do that for myself.
I think, as women and as mothers, I think we majority of us fall into that category where we put everybody first and ahead of us, and then we just kind of forget about ourselves until we're to the breaking point, basically. And you're like, that's it, I can't take another moment. I have been finding for myself that I'm like, I don't need, or necessarily I don't need, like I need a weekend away or anything like that. What I need to remember is to take those little moments, making sure that, hey, I took a half an hour, 20 minutes even, for myself before bed, after everybody else is asleep, and concentrate and just take that time. And that has helped. I'm sorry, what are you doing, bud? I don't know, I'm confused. How about, okay, just wait a second. And so doing those little things, it helps to, stop me from getting too deep to the breaking point.
Right. Yeah, just taking a few minutes to take a bath, read a book, whatever it is that makes
light a candle. I mean, shoot, even if it's just lighting a candle while I'm working, yeah, I'm still doing something, but I did that for me. That was a little thing for me that just kind of, that reminds me. It's like, oh, okay, let's enjoy those. Take a moment to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah. We do need to recharge ourselves a little bit and do things that just give us a breather a little bit and make us smile.
Exactly. Make us smile. Exactly.
Okay. Well, Amanda, thank you so much.
Okay, honey, thank you.
Thank you so much
you,
for the interview here with me.
I appreciate it. Okay, bud, thank you. Yep, it's time to go. My little ones are starting to get needy.
Yep, and it's time for me to stop and make dinner anyway. So
I understand. I know how that goes. That's about that time too. So, well, thank you so much for having me on and for doing the interview. I really enjoyed chatting with you. This has been so much fun.
So real quick before you go, tell us how we can find you online.
So you can find me under everything Little Bitty Delights, littlebitty.delights.com, Little Bitty Delights on Instagram, which is the main place that I'm hanging out. There is a Facebook page, but I'm not really there that often. It's all been about Instagram. So those are the two main places that you can find me. Is Instagram and on my website, littlebittydelights.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. All right, you too. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.